So not too long ago on my channel I made this Centiskortch Mill video, and I said if it got 30 or more likes I would do a different deck variant including Electrode-GX. Well, you guys absolutely smashed the like button and it got over 60 likes. You guys clearly love discarding your opponent's entire deck, so as requested, here is a Turbo Centiskortch Mill list. So obviously Centiskorch has the 100-foot Flames attack, which discards a card for each fire energy attached to this Pokemon. So I'm going to be playing a bunch of special energy like Reversal Energy, which provides 3 energy at a time as long as we are behind on prize cards and it's attached to a non-rule box Pokemon. Counter Energy, which provides 2 energy at a time as long as we are behind on prizes again and it isn't attached to a Pokemon GX or capital EX. God, I miss those cards. And finally, Heat Energy, which gives fire Pokemon plus 20 HP just to buff the amount of HP Centiskorch has. So of course I'm going to be playing Electrode-GX, which has the ability where we can get to put 5 energy from our discard pile onto one of our Pokemon and then it's KO'd. So to get all of our energies into the discard pile, we have an absolutely turbo draw engine with cards like Dedenne-GX and Squawkabilly X, discarding our hand and drawing a fresh 6 cards. Professor's Research, just for discarding our hand and drawing a fresh 7 cards. And Acro and Trekking Shoes to look through extra cards during our turn. Absolutely busted items in this deck, it's absolutely crazy. But one card that hasn't changed from the original list is Diancie, so that we can not get gussed up but by our opponent, especially when we have basic Pokemon like Sizzlipede, which is absolutely crazy. And as always, we are going to be going behind on prizes. We are a mill deck. Our whole game plan is to not take prizes, it's to mill our opponent. So Counter Catcher is super useful in this deck, especially when we can gust and stall our opponent, which can buy ourselves like an extra turn for milling, which is absolutely crazy. And basically we can win the game that way, which is absolutely crazy. And our A spec of choice is Brilliant Blender, so we can get those special energy cards into the discard pile quickly, search your deck for 5 cards and discard them. It's absolutely mental. And our stadium of choice in the deck is weirdly Sky Pillar, just to prevent any damage done to our benched Pokemon when we're setting up, so like for matchups against Regidrago mainly and Dragapult for example, spreading loads of damage all over the place. You could also potentially add Pokestop here if you wanted to be even more turbo. Obviously Pokestop, discard the 3 cards from your deck and then put any item cards you find there into your hand. But the full deck list is down in the description as always, but check out the upcoming gameplay and let me know what you think on this Centiskortch Mill Turbo deck in the comments below. Alright, our opponent is going first. We are playing against a weird grass box deck. That is completely fine. We're starting Squawkabilly EX in the active spot. That is insane. We do have a pretty good hand as well. It's time to draw through pretty much our entire deck. So let's go. We can start off with Trekking Shoes into Research. That is insane. And we can quick ball away maybe the Ultra Ball for the Diancie maybe, because we do have the switch in the hand I think, so that is insane. We can get into that, and then I'm pretty happy to just research after this and discard our hand and draw a fresh 7 cards. There's a couple more Acro, there's another, there's a Voltorb as well, we can get those set up. That is very excellent. I still haven't Squawkabilly EX'd yet, that is crazy. Anyway, I've got a couple Acro here. Hopefully we can get some more energy into the discard. Yes, we can get that reversal energy in the bin. Absolutely excellent. And then I'll bench the other Diancie just in case they escape rope or something like that. And then I can get the other Acro and get rid of the counter energy. That is ridiculous. And another counter energy into the bin, and we get a U-Turn Board into play, which allows us to give the Diancie free retreat, which is absolutely crazy. I'll shuffle in those Pokemon back into the deck, and then I'll start off with a Scorpion Seas. This deck is so tight, and we get a Dedenne as well, but I think I'm going to have to get a Sizzlipede out, so we can quick ball away the Diancie for one of those. That seems good. And then yeah, so we can attach the Heat Energy as well. That gives Sizzlipede 90 HP, and it can't be gusted up thanks to that Diancie. We get another energy and a few items back from the discard pile into the discard pile as well, which is absolutely insane. What a turbo deck this is, and I don't want to use the rescue stretcher, so I think I will just pass. And I'm pretty sure we can get a massive mill off next turn, which is absolutely crazy. I've got the counter catcher in hand as well, so next turn if they bench anything more, I can stall that up. They Iono, never mind, I spoke too early. What can we get off 6 cards though? That is a pretty good hand, I can't lie. We've got the Ultra Ball for the Centiskorch or an Electrode-GX. They Pokestop themselves, but just milling themselves. That's a free discard, 3 cards, that's crazy. So yeah, we can do this in a couple turns, I reckon. I've got the retreat, that's fine. We top deck another Trekking Shoes. I'll probably play one of those, because why not, right? There's an Electrode-GX, there you go, we get the Electrode-GX anyway. That is absolutely mental. So now all I need is a second one, and we are off to the races here. And I don't have anything in the discard pile, do I, with Rescue Stretcher? I guess it could have been helpful to get the Electrode-GX back when it goes to the discard pile after it's being knocked out, but here we are, we're here now, so we can't really do anything. I will go get the Centiskorch now though, because there's only one of them in the deck, and there's more Electrodes in the deck that I can potentially get into with a couple of Trekking Shoes. There's another counter catcher, I can get that, that's fine. And I'll Trekking Shoes into a Brilliant Blender. I know it's not like another Electrode-GX, but we can get a bunch of energy now into the discard pile and thin out our deck, so we can increase our odds in drawing to things that we really want. And we get more heat energy into the discard pile there with that Pokestop. I do know I said I'd play Sky Pillar, but you know, I've got to try a game with the Pokestop. This is what I was umming and ahhing about, or this is what I was tossing up. Do I play the Pokestop or the Sky Pillar? And clearly this was when I was recording before I ran into the Regidrago matchup. How wonderful. And anyway, we can just Electrode-GX once, that's completely fine. And I'll get all those reversal energy. We have all 4 reversal energy in the discard pile right now, so I'll accelerate all of those and 1 counter energy, which is absolutely wild. They take 2 prizes, that doesn't really matter. I do have the counter catcher, so I can gust up the Teal Mask Ogerpon if I want. It looks like they might be able to get an attack off next turn, so that's probably good. And I'll definitely 100 Foot Flames. They've got 40 cards left in deck, and they're left with 25. That's 15 cards. That isn't too bad. Considering it's a turbo deck, that isn't too bad at all. You wouldn't complain if you're milling 15 cards per turn, would you? Anyway, that is crazy. We're literally a couple turns away now from winning the game. They attach to the Venusaur and Celebi on the bench. They Lily's Determination. That's actually a card I could include in this deck, because it gives you an extra card over research, especially when you're always going to be on 6 prize cards and stuff like that. Yeah, this is crazy. We've got like, they haven't got many cards left in deck, to be honest, because we can just like mill most of them, and all I need to do is get another Electrode-GX off, and we're off to the races here. And yeah, we get the rescue stretcher off the top. That is mental, because we can just go grab a Pokemon from our discard pile. It's an Electrode-GX, and we can just do the whole kaboom thing again. We can do the whole big kaboom energy, extra energy bomb, that's what it's called. Extra energy bomb for the remaining 5 energy in our discard pile. And now with the heat energy, the Centiskorch has a massive like 210 HP, which I don't think they can knock out currently, which is absolutely crazy. Anyway, we can just 100 Foot Flames again, and we've just milled 22 cards in a turn. Yes, they have 3 cards left in their deck, or 2 now because they've drawn for turn, but still, 22 cards per turn is absolutely crazy. This is what I'm talking about. It's like discarding all their resources pretty much in a singular turn. They get another energy onto the Celebi and Venusaur, they're going to Teal Dance as well, and draw an extra card. They do have Retreat now, and they can only do 180 max damage, so you know, the Heat Energy has come in absolutely clutch there, absolutely mental, giving us an extra 80 HP, technically, is it 80 HP? That is mental, to give us 210 HP, and there's nothing that they can do, pretty much. I can't see them boosting their damage. They energy recycle, that's not going to do anything, because we're already discarding like 22 cards. This is absolutely mental. Turbo Mill for the win. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's crazy, because they don't even take advantage of the Evergreen GX and heal all damage, because they don't have any damage on them. They're just going to Evergreen GX. They can't get rid of my special energy, which is absolutely crazy, and we just win because we can just 100-foot flames for the third time and just win. That is mental, and we win because they deck out. Who could have foreseen that? Alright, we are going first this time. This is good. We are playing the Sky Pillar this time as well, so and we have a Brilliant Blender in our hand as well, which is absolutely crazy. We can just use that and get all of the main special energy into this card pile. We have all 4 reversal energy, all of our energy, to be honest. We have all 4 counter energy as well, all 4 heat energy. This is absolutely insane. There's an Acro bike as well. We can take the rescue stretcher because we're going to discard the Electrode-GX with the quick ball to get another draw Pokemon. We have Squawkabilly in play as well. This is all looking up. And we're playing against Gardevoir as well, so I'm hoping that we can, you know, do something against this deck. That would be really, really good. There's another Trekking Shoes. We've still got Squawkabilly to use as well. Don't need that rescue stretcher at the moment, thank you. And I can even attach the heat energy to the Diancie. Can actually come in handy if I need to use the spiked draw attack, but I will just Squawk and Seize, discard a hand, draw a fresh 6 cards. Okay, it's all looking okay. I have a couple Ultra Ball in the hand. I could even attach the U-Turn Board to the Voltorb on the bench. I can Ultra Ball away the Ultra Ball and the heat energy, that's fine. I think it is good to go and get the Sizzlipede and see what we can get into off this Trekking Shoes. We don't need that counter energy, send that to the discard pile please. The counter catch doesn't really help much, so I'm just going to have to end our turn there. That is a bit unfortunate. Hopefully we can top deck something good. If not, then we're just going to have to rely on spike drawing for a couple cards, which is not too bad, to be honest. In my previous video on this deck, I did use this attack quite a bit, and it did actually, you know, come in clutch, drawing those extra couple cards just to get into those, you know, Blastoise or Charizard in that video's case was really good, and it could actually come in clutch trying to get into those Electrodes or a Quick Ball or something like that. Anyway, they do just Secret Box, which is absolutely crazy. So I'm guessing they're going to put a bunch of energy into the discard pile so they can fuel the Gardevoir EX's ability, Psychic Embrace. It's honestly such a broken ability, especially in Standard. Can't wait for it to rotate, you know what I mean. They get rid of an Iono, okay, and an energy and an Earthen Vessel, I think that was. That's interesting. So let's see what they can get. So they get another Iono, a Buddy Poffin, and an Artisan. So they're going to probably Buddy Poffin for a couple more routes, set up the board, and try and get some Curliers into play next turn. They could bump my stadium here. Yes, that's what they're going to do. That's completely fine. That actually helps us. We can get a Voltorb out of the deck onto the bench, so we can utilise a double Electrode extra energy bomb, which is absolutely mental. They get free. They have all their routes out in play. That's absolutely mental. Will they Iono us? That is the thing. 'Cause I did say they put the Iono into the hand, and yes, here it comes. They're gonna draw themselves as fresh 6 cards, but give us a fresh 6 cards, which is a lot better than what we had, and look at that hand we just got given. That is mental. 3 Acro Bike, 1 Trekking Shoes, and 2 Electrode-GX. That means we can just pretty much draw through the majority of our deck at this point. We only have 15 cards left in deck already. As I said, this deck is ultra turbo. Anyway, I can just evolve now into the Electrode-GX. I now can just start Acro Biking. I can take that quick ball, thank you very much. I'll Acro Bike again for the Hisuian heavy ball, because why not? Don't need that Ditto anymore. And I can Acro Bike for a final time, get the Dedenne into the hand. That could be good once we knock out an Electrode-GX towards the end of the game. I'll play the Trekking Shoes as well. The Ultra Ball is really handy. That can get us to Centiskorch at some point. But I want to spike draw, right? I don't want to like mill super early, because then they can get into Gardevoir and just knock me out, and then we pretty much lose. So what is the best course of action here? I think I've got to load on the energy at this point, so we may as well extra energy bomb now at least once. So I will just load on all of these reversible energies. That is absolutely crazy. And 1 counter energy, knock ourselves out, and we don't have a counter catcher in the hand yet, so we can't necessarily like gust and stall. That's okay. I can attach the U-Turn board back to the Voltorb. That's the great thing about the U-Turn board, it returns to the hand once it's discarded from play. It's not like every other tool, which is what makes it really unique, to be honest, and that's why I love it in this deck. Anyway, they are just going to level ball. That allows them to get their curliers out, so they could just start refining and discarding a card from their hand and drawing a couple cards, which honestly could really help us, because you know this deck loves to see our opponent drawing loads of cards unnecessarily, with cards like, you know, Research and even Lily's Determination, and you know, it's just really good. And the Dedennes and stuff, Crobats, Squawkabillies as well. Literally any turbo deck suffers against this deck, because they just go way too quickly through their deck, and you know, in a couple turns or so they realize, oh, my deck's gonna be out of cards next turn, which is way too late for them to realize. Anyway, they're just gonna evolve into their colours. I imagine they've already used a refinement. They're going to refine again. I like the promos on these curliers, to be fair. Very nice indeed. Yeah, what can they do? They're kind of stuck in the active with the rolls. I guess they could teleport the teleportation burst, or no, what's the attack called? That forgets the attack of your opponent, if you get what I mean. Like, is it teleportation burst? I'll put it up on screen. Anyway, they get a Gardevoir into the hand, and they work. They're just drawing more cards. They get rid of their own Artisan as well. Guess it's not really necessary for either of us, I guess, but they collapse Stadium, which is interesting. That means we're going to have to get rid of Squawkabilly EX, probably is the best shout. And we do free up a bench spot next turn, because we do have the Electrode-GX in the hand. And they just pass, that is huge. Can we get rid of 22 cards from our opponent's deck in a single turn? Let's see if we can find out. We can just evolve to start, that's a good start, isn't it? We can definitely Ultra Ball as well. Away, probably both Quick Ball, doesn't really matter as long as we don't get rid of the Dedenne. Both Centiskorch are in the deck, that is excellent. We can probably evolve now as well. I can retreat and get that heat energy into the discard pile. I can extra energy bomb the remaining 5 energy we have onto the Centiskorch. We have literally everything we need, I'm pretty sure, and I think we have 1 counter energy and 1 heat energy left in the deck. We currently have 12, 15, 18, wait no, we have 21 energy in our deck. That is mental. In play, sorry. And we can just attach the counter energy we've got off that Dedenne, and we've gone through our entire deck, and now we can discard all of our opponent's deck, which is absolutely crazy. And we win because they deck out. What can you do? Way! Let's go, GG. I'm quite keen on trying a similar deck but with Whiscash instead, taking advantage of Stone Fighting Energy, so if this video gets 70 or more likes, I'll definitely make a video on that. But what changes would you make to this deck? Thanks so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe and hit that bell, as I'm trying to get to 500 subscribers before the end of 2025. But if you haven't seen the original video of how to discard your opponent's entire deck in a single turn, it's right here on your screen when you're ready. But until next time, stay strategic everyone. See ya.